Okay, guys, a big thanks to all the members in the chat room for welcoming me back last week. You still won't see any videos with results from last week. I decided to kind of lay low and almost act like a member of the site rather than the guy running the room. I told everybody I'm not going to be on the mic the rest of last week. My head probably still not right after going to 2 funerals over the course of the past month. My dad's and my wife's dad. So it's been a rough way to go. I don't want to keep harping on this in the videos, but I get a lot of questions like, hey, why aren't there any results, or why aren't you making videos? That's why. So I got back to chat last week and just kind of laid low. I did type in when I saw like unusual volume in a stock, or when I saw a stock pulling back to one of our buy zones. I would type it into the room and alert people, kind of just acting like the members do, trying to help out, but I stayed off the mic. And also because I've been away from the market for a while, and I wanted to quietly get back in sync. So I did trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think, and nicely profitable all the days, using the chat room more as a tool, as our members do, than as the leader. Okay, starting Monday, I'll be back on the mic. I'm comfortable. I feel like I'm back in the market flow, and I'm comfortable actually running the room again. So not that it seems like the room needs me anymore. Great teamwork in there, unbelievable. But anyway, nicely profitable Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll be running the room again starting Monday. So here's the list I've come up with on Sunday here for Monday. Now CLNE, you can look at this a couple different ways. One, you're in a range from 12 to 14 pretty much, with this little exception right here. So, is it a short all the way back down to 12? Maybe you could also kind of squint and see a head and shoulders there. However, I'm kind of looking at this as another possibility as well. You had nice volume here. And if you switch to the weekly, you can kind of see that, hey, this was a pretty big volume week, and maybe 12 support is done for a while. Maybe we're headed up. So with the big volume move here over the course of a day and a half, and then you had basically a 2-day pullback, this might, if it can trade in a narrow range and then break its early high, this might head back to 14 before it rolls over back down to 12, and may start to break out. So I'm looking at this sort of as a bounce play, okay? Keeping in mind that this chart isn't beautiful as far as along, because it could be headed back to 12. So switching to 15s here, you can see the nice move. I mean, almost parabolic. Let's get the drawing tool going. You had a real nice move here, and then you kind of have what you could deem as a flag. Bigger volume on the move, and then lower volume on the pullback. So let's just say this opens up and trades between 13 and 13.20 for the first couple hours, and then we light up the new high sticker. I would probably be a buyer at 13.22, something like that. Now that's hypothetical. I don't know what's going to happen on Monday, but I'm kind of thinking this may turn back up. So with that in mind, it's sort of on long bounce watch, if you will. A little obscure chart here, AVNR, but monster volume, 12 million shares gapped up on Friday. And because it's sold off all day, and sometimes on a gap up, especially on the lower price stocks, the bears just get a hold of it and it can't bounce at all. But the next day, you can get a pretty nice move to the upside. So it's just on bounce watch again, kind of the same as CLNE. I really wanted to trade kind of in a narrow range and then light up the new high sticker, later in the morning or the afternoon, and then we might be a buyer. It doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart, dedicated chart to it, and see if it sets up for something. I'm looking at it. CLF here, again, kind of weird because these calls are so weak, but you did have a really big volume pop on Thursday, and you could argue that, okay, well, we're already rolling back over because it round tripped, but it didn't. If you look where it closed on Wednesday, it certainly hasn't round tripped, but it did almost round trip Thursday's intraday action on Friday. But you notice the lower volume, so this is another one that if it can trade in a narrow range for a while on Monday, and then light up the new high sticker, just having it on a chart and seeing that it's getting close to the high of the day, in the right circumstances, a high of day break can give you a nice quick trade. So a good idea to have that one on watch. JC Penney's on Friday in chat, and I realized it was to the level of being annoying. I probably typed in 50 times over the course of the afternoon, or morning and afternoon, that I loved JC Penney's daily now because of the gap up, and I knew it was going to have monster volume, and it was above, a lot of shorts in it, beaten up stock. Everybody knows how beaten up JCP is. And then, all morning it was trading above all this trading. Okay, so after getting beaten up like this, you're above all of this trading and it's getting a big volume. That's the sign of a possible multi-day little mini short squeeze, if you will. So like I said, about 15, 20 times in chat I typed in, love the JC Penney daily, to the point where they were getting annoyed with me. But I have a teenage son and he's taught me how to aggravate, and I was kind of doing it in the light of that. But we did get a couple nice trades in JC Penney's, or I did, and I think a lot of the members kind of followed what I was looking at on JCP on Friday. But I'm not in it now. I will be watching it again for a long on Monday. BlackBerry, BBRY, not very hard to see kind of a long trend line here, or a flag, whatever you want to call it, pennant. And the thing I like about this is, it put in this red candle to, basically the top of this pennant here on Thursday, but then Friday it held up pretty well, and I'll show you on the intraday on Friday. You got this nice afternoon, pretty good volume move there. If I get that high volume out, you can kind of see the volume coming in there. So it was a pretty nice relative volume move, and it took out the high of the day, and then kind of ended up basing. So what you have here is shorts stepping in again, and if these shorts fail, this could have a nice move to the upside. I keep thinking this moved on Friday. I thought somebody typed in chat a report on how quickly their phone sold out somewhere, something along those lines. But you know what? There's a lot of shorts in BlackBerry, and I kind of like the green candle on Friday. So this is in my mind on long watch with the right intraday setup. Everything I do is based off intraday setup. Well, it's based off the daily chart combined with entries based on intraday setups. CAR had nice volume on Friday. It's near recent highs. It's on my radar. And then LXK, a thinner stock. You go back here and you see it averages, I don't know, a little over 500,000 a day maybe, which I like them to average at least 1 million before I'll trade them in the chat room. But a lot of interesting activity lately. This big pop here, and then over the course of the week, it's worked its way back up, which gives you a nice high volume weekly candle. You do have the 200 week there. But, this could be up from here. So LXK is also on long watch on an intraday basis. Again, on Friday, had a big volume move. But, running out of trading day, so I didn't do anything with this on Friday. But it is on my radar. And as always, guys, we'll add stocks in the morning when we see, gaps in high volume pre-market plays. So we'll have plenty to trade. And then also we have a couple guys in our chat that are amazingly quick with news on individual stocks. So sometimes we get something as simple as the chart means nothing, a quick news play, and we actually have guidelines in place for how to play those too. So anyway, looking forward to this week. It's kind of a short list, but we'll probably add to it between now and the open on Monday. So have a great Sunday evening, and we'll see everybody on Monday.